Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of the Next Big Pod. I'm joined today by actually quite a large panel. We've got Sam, Alex, Cal, back from a hiatus, Andy, and Brian as well. And we're also joined by Paddy Barnes, Olympic bronze medalist twice. I think, Paddy, is that right?
Yep.
Two bronzes and then two golds in the Commonwealth Games. So yeah, yes. A star-studded boxing.
He's the original bronze bomber. Bomb Squad!
Paddy, I thought a good place to start off by because we've just spoken about it, and we're pretty serious fans, but even we get a bit confused about the process. So if you could just clarify for the listeners who's qualified and who hasn't from the British team.
Well, from the British team, there's no one qualified.
Yeah!
From the Irish team, from the Irish team, there's 4 qualified. So
and that's yourself,
myself, Michael Conlon, Joseph Ward, and Stephen Donnelly.
Right, and when exactly did you qualify?
I qualified through the WSB. So that's
right.
like a different format. It's like five rounds.
Didn't you represent?
No fest on.
Who did you represent in the WSOP?
The Italian team.
How does that work out then?
Well, it's different franchises around the world. So there's ones in China, Mexico, America, all around the world. But the Italians wanted me, so they drafted me in, and I fought for them.
And that was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, last year, yeah.
Yeah. So you've been qualified for a while then?
I've been qualified since last April.
Yeah.
And I just turned in the alcoholic since then.
I was going to say, because we read a lot about obviously the English fighters who are still having preliminary bouts and still yet to qualify, and potentially might not qualify at all. Is it tricky for you to stay focused on it, seeing as you qualified so long ago?
No, not really, because I've still got loads to work on, you know what I mean? So it's helped me in a way because I can focus on my weaknesses more. So I don't have to fight to qualify. That's done and dusted. And I can relax and look forward to the Olympics.
Do you have an idea of who your sort of main threats are going to be when you get there?
No, to be honest,
not qualified yet, really.
I don't really care, to be honest with you, because if I'm on form and I box my best on a day, then no one will beat me. But if I box bad, have a bad day, anyone can beat me. So really, it's just up to me.
So would you say in that sense it's sort of a mental battle then? It's up to you. If you're focused and on your game, you feel confident you can take anything.
Yes,
you can beat anyone.
Yes, 100%.
And you won't have Zhu Shiming to face this time.
100%.
Yeah.
You never know. He might decide he wants to. What are they? This is one I wanted to ask. You've probably asked this loads of times now. With the pro boxers, do you think they'll be allowed in 2016 or not, or do you think they'll bin that idea off?
I think there will be. I think that they'll get the go ahead. But to be honest,
knowing that, would you maybe have turned over pro already then and not bothered, or are you not fussed if pros are allowed in? You're not concerned about them?
Nah, because I don't really care. Like if they're in or not, because for me, it has no effect on me. Because if anything, the pro boxers are going to have a disadvantage, because it's 3 rounds. It's a sprint. Pro boxers fight over 12 rounds, and like they got to slow the pace down. So it's like a fucking jumps horse racing in a 7 furlong race. 2 totally different sports.
Yeah, I suppose that's a good way to put it, really, isn't it?
And top amateurs nowadays train more than top professionals.
Do you mean in terms of sort of constantly being in shape and constantly?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Not having 6 months off and putting on 5 stone. Yeah.
Yeah. Top amateurs are on 24/7.
Like Paul Smith couldn't be a fucking amateur boxer then.
Who? Paul Smith.
Paul Smith couldn't be an amateur boxer.
Brian's excited about Paul Smith's comeback this weekend. He's a big Smith fan.
I know Brian's Paul's biggest fan.
I fucking hate Paul Smith.
Paul Smith.
We'll get on to We'll get on to Paul Smith's 6 rounder later. I don't know if that's why people have tuned in, to be honest, to learn about that. Paddy, we had Barry Jones on last week, and obviously another not as decorated as yourself, but he was a decent amateur fighter. And I've noticed both of you lost your first fight when you were kids, starting out. I wanted to confirm if that was true or not. I saw that on Wikipedia that you lost your first ever sort of amateur fight when you.
Oh yes. I lost my first 12.
Really?
Yeah. But see, to be honest, okay, I lost my first 12 fights, but they were close fights too. You know what I mean? They could have went either way.
Yeah, you weren't getting blasted out in a round each time.
No. I wasn't getting beat up like.
I think there is a bit too much.
No wonder Robin Deaton still thinks he's got a chance to win a belt.
I didn't even hear. Say it again.
So after the Olympics, are you going to turn over straight away then? The quickest opportunity you get?
Yeah, at the Olympics, I'm going to go pro, definitely.
Have you got anything lined up already with who you're going to sign with, or are you going to work it all out at the time?
Got to be Cyclone, hasn't it? No?
Who?
It's got to be Cyclone, surely.
Maybe NGM.
Okay. Not too far from Italy. So, right, where are we? Anyone else jump in if you've got any questions? I'm just looking through my notes. Paddy, obviously it's like you said, it's difficult to say because so many people haven't qualified yet. But are there any kind of secret stars that we should be on the lookout for in the summer? Like any guys that we might not have heard of that might turn out to be sort of ones to watch in the program in the future?
Yeah, well, on the Irish team, there's a guy who hasn't qualified yet. Called Michael O'Reilly. He's an Irish middleweight. He's very, very good, so he would be one to look out for.
I was going to say, not heard of him. Is he a bit younger than the other guy?
He's young. He's 24 maybe.
Okay.
He's very, very good. He's a middleweight.
Okay, Michael O'Reilly. We'll look out for that. Yeah. Are you fairly confident that he will qualify eventually as well, alongside the rest?
Yeah, because he should have qualified through the World Championships, but he was robbed by Egypt. He got a bronze medal.
Oh, really? And
yeah.
Okay. You forget about how dodgy the scoring can be, even with the buzzer system. Yeah, it's a funny one. But are you looking forward to it? When are you going to be heading out to Brazil? Do you think? Would it be sort of May time?
No, we're going to Brazil on July the 18th.
Okay.
The games start on the 5th of August.
And how long does the boxing? How long does that take place over?
The full game, the full duration of the games. but my weight category will end like 1 week into the game, so I'll have fought in the final where Michael Conlan hasn't even fought a semi-final yet. Strange.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. And you go through you sort of increase through the weight categories as it goes.
Yeah.
What, do you hang around then from the beginning to the end, or are you going to fuck off home, or are you going to stay with your boys?
No, I'll be alright. I'll just stay until the end. Get the free holiday out of it.
You get on the beers as well after, I suppose, can't you?
100%.
Yeah, everyone else is still making weight. You'll be there pissing off.
Right. Fuck him.
Be fighting at light middle for your pro debut. Yeah, a few months later.
If I can make light middleweight, yes.
What weight are you looking to turn over as? Are you going to stay low down, or are you going to put on a bit?
Flyweight.
Oh yeah.
Are you still comfortable making the limit?
Yeah, but I'm 49 kilo I fight at, and flyweight it's 51 kilo, so I'll need to put weight on.
Do you, over the tournament period with the amateurs, do you struggle because you've got to weigh in every day of the fight, haven't you? Do you struggle to keep the weight off? Or?
Yeah, it's tough. You know, the WSB you weigh in the day before, so it's like professional. But so I weigh in 49 kilo, and in 2 hours it'd be 53 kilo. I mean, so that's 4 kilo.
That's a lot of weight.
I know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what that is in pounds. That's about 12 pounds, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put on like a stone over the weekend.
and then you've got to boil it all down again
Yeah, like every
following
fortnight.
day.
Every day, the following day. But I'm fighting in an Olympic style tournament, I would only put 2 kilo on.
Do you have to properly manage what you're going to eat then through that week?
Yeah, not so much eat, just the fluids.
Can you identify with guys, Paddy, like obviously the 2008 games when we had all the issues with Frankie Gavin and to a lesser extent Billy Joe and that lot, where Frankie was saying he wasn't. I think it was he wasn't allowed to take his nutritionist, and that meant that he wasn't on the check weight, and it was. And they said it was so difficult to stay on the weight all the time. It wasn't, you had to boil down for one afternoon and then you could sort of pop back up again. It was constant.
Yeah.
And with the flight and with the travel and stuff. And I know there's something about, isn't it? If you eat salt before you get on a plane, you can get like massively bloated and all this sort of stuff. And I remember Gavin saying he really struggled with the flying. Can you identify with them, or do you think it's a case of sort of bad preparation?
Well, just like what I don't get with GB is like you have to be 5% over your body weight like the week before the fight. And some boxers like Frankie Gavin, you couldn't do it because he was so heavy. And I think there was pressure put on him to make weight, and it played in his mind. And plus, like Frankie Gavin, like 2 weeks before the games, he pulled out because he was 1.9 kilo over the weight. Like I think like he could have made the weight, but maybe the GB's setup just didn't allow it.
Yeah, he seemed to say there was a lot of sort of miscommunication with his nutritionist and his trainers and stuff back in Birmingham, and there was a big issue from that. But it seems like it's far sort of stricter than in the pros, where you see these guys putting on sort of. I mean, I was watching the Tim Bradley Pacquiao preview show at the weekend, and even a guy like Bradley is he's much bigger a month out from the fight. And then you see him boil down, and he's got sort of 2% body fat or something ridiculous. But it's hard to imagine these guys as amateur, as fighting on amateur rules, and you'd have to think they'd struggle if they were to go to the Olympics.
Exactly, hardly of like Bradley fighting every day, making weight every day, but it's a fact of his performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it's people saying it's a foregone conclusion that like a guy like Pacquiao could, who said he would like to go to the Olympics, could go in and just blow everyone out. You think, well, actually, might not be that simple.
But to be honest, see someone like Pacquiao, he could possibly. I would put money on him winning the Olympics because of his style. He's very explosive. You know what I mean? So he has.
Yeah, he starts quickly, doesn't he, in all his fights? Yeah.
I think the weight making every day could be an issue for some of them pros as well.
I think the weight making issue would be really, really applied to all the professionals. I think that's where they will be found out.
Yeah, I mean we've got it sort of. It was a good weekend for it. I mean, you had a guy like Kell Brook who's just absolutely huge, boiling himself way down to 147. But can I ask on a sort of broader sense? What are your thoughts on the headgear issue in amateur?
What, sorry?
On the issue of headgear in amateur boxing.
Really, I think it's a big statement saying that it reduces concussions. I can't believe they're actually coming out and saying that publicly. But I feel it's a way to go because, like, let's be honest. If amateur boxing was on TV, 2 guys wearing head guards, you would just turn it over because it's shit to watch. But with head guards off, you know who the boxers are. It's more entertaining to watch, but with head guards off.
We had Tony Bellew on ages ago now, and he was on about why some of the amateurs coming through, they tend to keep an amateur style, like Luke Campbell, for example, and why some of them come over and they're shit already. And maybe the WSOB, the head guards and that, they're fighting with the point scoring, same as the pros. It should make a difference when you turn over because you'll already be sort of half used to it. You'll have no vest on, no head guards. There's not that much of a transition, just you'll be fighting for a longer period of time.
Of course, the WSB, it's 5 rounds, no vest, no head guard, so it's the exact same as professional boxing. Only difference is the gloves. They're a lot more padded, you know what I mean? So, if I was to go professional after the big games, I would need to go into 6 rounders at least straight away.
Yeah, there's no point in you fucking around the 4 minutes, 4 rounds, then, is there?
No. And I would need to fight Roman Gonzalez, my first fight.
You've got to go one better than Lomachenko, right? You've got to get the world title on your
Exactly.
Yeah. Who are the guys? Yeah, speaking of Gonzalez, who are the guys you admire sort of down at your weight class in the pros at the moment? Is there anyone you look at and think in a couple of years you'd like to be sort of in the conversation with them?
Well, you mean like who I like to fight in a few years?
Yeah, let's say you're 15-0 in 3 or 4 years' time. Who would you reckon you'd be looking at?
Oh, definitely Roman Gonzalez.
And you wouldn't try and delay it, because we've seen a lot of fighters against some of the smaller sort of more complete Rigondeaux is an obvious example, but a few guys who get to that level and then they think, actually, I don't really fancy it. But
no, definitely, because he's paying per pound number one. So even if I lost, we'll have nothing to lose because he's such a great. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
if I lost against someone like that there, it's not really big because he's so good and.
Yeah, there's no shame in losing to him, is there?
There's no shame. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no shame losing to someone of that caliber. So it's a win-win for me anyway.
And you get on HBO.
Exactly, I get on HBO and.
Not too many Irish flyweights been on HBO, I don't think, in history.
None.
Can I ask you, sort of going back a little bit? We asked this with all our guests. It's quite a good question. Was there a particular fight that got you really hooked on the sport when you were young, when you were first breaking into it? I think you were about 11, weren't you? 11 or 12 when you started boxing. Was there one particular fight where you you watched it and thought, okay, I'm hooked now?
Definitely has to be the Barrera and Morales trilogy. They had 3 fights. They made me love the sport.
It's a great answer. Yeah, classics. Still watch them. I think I watched Barrera against Paul Lloyd at the weekend just for a laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, not quite in the same caliber. But yeah, they were absolutely classic fights. Sorry,
Unbelievable fights.
I've had this question come through a few times for you. It relates to Billy Walsh. Do you think it will make a difference that Irish teams lost him? Or
say it again. You broke up there.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Just turn the thing off. Do you think it will make a difference that you've lost Billy Walsh for the Irish team or not?
Oh, no, not at all. We still got our main tactical coach, Zorantia. So as long as I hold on to him, we'll be flying.
Do you think he's going to strengthen America?
No.
You don't think he will?
No.
Oh, that's interesting.
Have they got any real stars for the games? Because US amateur boxing seems to be a real low point at the moment.
Say it again, sorry.
Have they got any stars for the games? The US team. Is there anyone you're worried about from their side? Because
okay.
Seems to be a real low point for US amateurs at the moment.
The guy at my weight isn't much good. So they're talking about their bantamweight, Shakur Stevenson, but he couldn't be that good if he's lost twice this year in his own national championships. He's only young, so if he came up against Michael Conlan, I would be expecting Michael Conlan to finish him early.
Okay, so Conlan would be very confident going into that fight.
100%.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, there's just no real. The American guys I talk to seem just really clueless about why it's kind of dropped off, and they've got no real elite fighters coming through at all on the amateur scene.
I know exactly why there's no good fighters coming through, because once they get to a certain stage or age, they turn professional because they have no funding. We get paid to fight as amateurs. In USA, they get no money whatsoever for being an amateur. So it's an obvious option to go professional early.
Yeah, unless they can somehow get sponsored or something. But I see what you mean. When did they stop funding them? I wasn't aware that they changed the rules.
Sorry?
Did you know when did they recently stop funding the amateur program?
For USA, they've never sponsored USA boxers.
Okay, so have the Irish team always sponsored? Have you guys always been paid to fight?
No, from 2004.
And you think it's made a difference?
Yeah, big time.
Does it enable people like you who can hang on that little bit much longer then to turn pro? Because you're 28 now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm 28, and I'm making good money as an amateur. That's why I haven't went professional. But I really want to go professional.
Have
And
you thought? Have you thought about it before? There must be times when you thought, "Fuck this, I'll just turn over," or has it always been amateur? We'll get this gold medal and then we'll do it.
No, for me, I've been to tournament games. I got medals. So for me, I love fighting in front of big crowds. So I want to go professional and fighting big, proper professional shows because that's what gives me a buzz.
So you'd be looking to fight in sort of on the big cards in Ireland straight away once you turn over.
Big time. I want to be in the big cards straight away, and I want to be tapping my own bills. And also, I believe I'll have a big following in Ireland, so I can't see that being a problem here.
No, absolutely not. And Irish boxing's booming at the moment, isn't it? Professional and amateur.
Yeah, like you have like Michael Conlon, world champion amateur, your Carl Frampton, world champion professional. You know what I mean? So with Carl Frampton, the professional scene, the following he has is unbelievable.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll be sort of willing to help, sort of give a hand up to the other guys coming through on his undercards and stuff like that, and viewing figures on ITV and yeah. Can I ask you, Paddy? Funny you mentioned Carl Frampton, and I can remember you were quite vocal in the build up to the Quigg fight. You know, obviously very confident that you thought Carl was going to win. And there was this. I've got to ask you if you were behind the rumor that one of the guys in Gallagher's gym had bet 20k on Carl to win, because it seemed like it might have been someone having a little joke at their expense.
Yeah, well, that wasn't true. What?
It was sort of feasible though, because I did think, they did seem like a little. Some of them were sort of a bit unsure of whether he could do it or not. You'd have.
No, but to be honest, like, see that the rumor about the bet. I heard it. I heard that rumor, and it's just not true. It's made up.
Great rumor though. Great way to get into the head of the opponent.
I can't say he made it up, but I know for a fact it's made up.
We thought Brian might have been involved initially. He was sharing it around everywhere.
In fairness, it wasn't Brian.
Okay.
So you saying then that you take the Gonzalez fight in like a heartbeat? Do you think Frampton should fight Riga?
No.
You don't think he should?
No way. Why would we want to fight Riga for? Because like he's unified world champion, right? Riga is a serious threat. Carl could beat him, yes, but no, it's a serious threat to Carl's potential to make more millions. So why risk everything instead of making loads of money? But really, professional boxing is about.
So would you go after Santa Cruz if you were advising him?
100%. I think Frampton beats Santa Cruz definitely.
I do think it's tough because obviously we all want to see him fight Rigo. We've wanted him or Quigg to fight Rigo for a long time, just because it'd be nice to be able to say, right, they are definitely the best in the division or whatever, because you're always going to have a shadow. But I do think the Santa Cruz fight would be really good action, so I wouldn't sort of complain if they made that. But we're very impressed that you'd fight Gonzalez, because it doesn't seem like there's the guys like Estrada. He doesn't seem that keen on having a rematch with him. Apparently asking for a lot of money for a flyweight fight, and some of the other guys, it seems like, along with Golovkin, on those double headers they're doing on HBO, it's not easy to find opponents, sadly.
Yeah, I don't think Gonzalez has a problem finding opponents. Well, I hope he had. Well, it would be nice if he did, because if I could get him my second fight. That would be brilliant.
You feel comfortable with the 12 rounds in your second fight, yeah?
Sure, I'm fighting WSB 5 rounds at a high pace, and it's only a warm up to me, and if you watch Gonzalez, it's not even a high pace. He's flat footed, walks forward, and just tracks people down, and walks them down. So he's not fighting at a high pace. So if I wanted a breather, I would just match him, just walk about the ring, get a breather for a round or what. So You know what I mean? He's not fighting people who are really good too. Like I think he's a very good boxer, but you know, I think like boxers should be fighting more. You know, making Roman think more.
Well, I think he's doing. I know he's tried. He's sort of said he wants to aim for 3 fights a year, but I think it's a question of getting the dates, and I think it'll probably be on more and more money each time, won't he? And maybe HBO would only want to improve the very best opponents, and it's tough to.
Well, let's put this way. This was to happen, right? I win. They let me go a medal, okay? Turn pro, and fight Gonzalez in my first fight in October.
Right.
Because I'm a big champion, I could possibly happen, like.
Would you know? Well, it wouldn't. I don't know how it could be for a belt though. That's the only thing because of rankings and that.
Well, I'll have one fight, like Dominic Techno did. Have one fight.
Yeah, have one eliminator and then get in the top 15. Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's a possibility. Like.
But don't you think if you sort of had underestimated it and you got beaten sort of pretty clearly, don't you think you'd be damaging your, like you said with Carl, you'd be damaging your sort of earning potential in the future or your
No, because it's so early in my career. It's the second fight against the pound for pound number one. So if he knocked me out in the first round, it doesn't really matter.
Well, do you think he? Well, that's a good question to go on. Do you think he is pound for pound number one? Because obviously we had Andre Ward at the weekend, and we've had who else? We've had Crawford recently. Some people have said he's right up there. We've still got Rigo kicking around. Would you say Gonzalez is number one?
Yeah, because like Gonzalez weight, he's fought everyone who's won a title and who's like the top rated in his division. So like, he's fought everyone. Well, just because like he's not a big name like at heavier weights, no, it would be unfair to say that he's not pound for number one. And he's like 43-0. So
yeah, he has beat. I mean, it's everyone apart from Inoue, isn't it? The Japanese guy, who again is another one. Like you said, I think he's only had about 12 fights or something, and he's already sort of had like 5 world title fights, and yeah, he was there within 10 fights. I think he'd won a belt. It looks like a monster, but hopefully we'll get that fight in the next year or so.
Yeah.
Alex, are you still there, mate? No, he's muted. Paddy, did you see any of the fights at the weekend? Because obviously, been lots of.
Yeah, I watched the fight. Yeah.
Did you watch the Eubank fight?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the? Do you think it should have been stopped earlier? Do you think because that's what we're going to be sort of debating later on tonight is whether it was a bit of a slow stoppage or if the referee got it right.
Well, it's hard to say because, put it this way, Nick Blackwell was the champion. You know, he wasn't really clearly taking digs to the face. He took them all on the arms. He was the champion. He was fighting back in bursts. He was getting beat clearly, but I thought like the referee was getting respect as the champion to fight on.
And it was on his show, wasn't it? Of course.
He didn't look. Yes, it's on the show, and he didn't look hurt.
He was always firing back as well when Eubank
was always firing back.
He was always having well, not the last say, but he was always putting something back as well.
Yeah, but was he landing anything significant though? Really, this is my
really,
problem. Yeah.
Not really, but you know, he was the champion. At the end of the day, it's boxing. You're in there like a hit league. Just because you took a few shots, you can't just jump in the top of a fight.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought maybe it was a sort of fight where the referee should have maybe been chatting with the corner and saying, you know, if he doesn't show me something in the next round or so. I think
it's to be honest with you, I think if anyone's to blame for the stoppage, it should be the corner man.
Yeah. I agree with that, and we were quite surprised because Gary Lockett's a guy who's usually pretty on. If he thinks his fighter doesn't have a chance to win, he'll pull them out pretty quickly. And I was surprised that he seemed to sort of let his emotions get the better of him, maybe.
And maybe as a case, like I know Gary Lockett's a good guy, like, but I thought that Gary Lockett should have maybe stopped the fight, like, but.
Yeah, I think it was around the sort of 8th round that we people watching it started to say, yeah, maybe they should think about stopping this now because it didn't.
Yeah.
I just didn't really think he had Blackwell had a chance to win. And when one guy's got no chance to win and the other guy is still bombing forward, you always think, is there any point? All right, Brian, you're back.
Yes.
How was the drive?
Absolutely amazing. My dogs look fucking belting. Nice wee haircut.
Brian, Paddy's confirmed that you weren't the one who started the rumour about someone from Gallagher's gym betting 20k on Frampton.
Wasn't me?
Oh, Brandy, do you want people to know that it was you?
Well, people can think it's me if they want. I'll claim that.
Always trying to undermine the trainer of the year.
I heard it was Joe Gallagher.
To be honest,
Borrowed 20k off Amir Khan. Yeah.
I heard it was Joe Gallagher as well.
I'm Joe Gallagher, cunt. Right, what have you been talking about?
We've done sort of the Olympic stuff. We were actually just talking about the Eubank Blackwell fight. But if you've got any questions for Paddy, then jump in.
I'm going to go back to Zhu Shimin. I thought you'd have probably covered it. Paddy, see the fight that you had. Did you think that you beat him at the last Olympics?
It was close, wasn't it?
Because I watched it and and I gave you the decision. Maybe I'm a wee bit biased, but I thought he got a bit of a shocking decision. Well, not shocking, but I think he got the benefit of the doubt.
To be honest, I thought it was very close. I wouldn't scream robbery, but like at the time I thought, okay, I thought he beat me by a couple of points. But then when I watched it back, I thought it could went either way. So I'm not too disappointed.
I mean, we've seen a couple of dodgy decisions. There's no getting away from it. Josh
Definitely are.
has basically built his reputation not only by battling drug dealers and getting banned for his own area, but also fucking robbing people. he's just a constant robber, isn't he?
Yeah, to be honest, I thought Joshua lost the final and the quarterfinal against Cuba.
I thought that as well.
Oh yeah, he lost at least twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember back to that. That shows you just the kind of the bias, because maybe everybody's bad for it, right? But I can remember Dave Caldwell basically saying that he didn't care that it was a robbery because it was like a British fighter that was winning it.
Yeah.
And I was like, how would you like it if like he got robbed, made a decision? I was like, you wouldn't like it if your own fighter got fucked, shafted in a decision just because he was a home fighter and all that. And they couldn't understand. Basically, the reply was, but you're fair to UK, you should be supporting this. I was like, no, I support like somebody winning legitimately. I don't support just because, unless it's Ricky Burns. I think Ricky Burns like got a draw against
Beltran.
Aye, that was never a draw, wasn't it? But we loved that. Oh, we fucking loved that.
Well, if Burns was fighting Roy Jones in the Olympics in Seoul, and he was that Korean lad, would you have cheered him on when he got awarded the win?
But I'd have been partying like it's 1999.
Worst decision in the history of all time. Yeah.
Fuck Roy Jones. He's ended up on to take steroids and flashing his fucking bobby on the internet and get knocked out with cabbages.
No, we've got to be nice to Roy Jones because Paddy's going to fight Gonzalez in his second pro fight on HBO, and Roy Jones will probably be calling it. So
Roman Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's nice. Is that going to be in Los Angeles and I can go it?
Yep, it's going to be in Las Vegas.
Oh, fucking sweet, man.
On the Golovkin Canelo undercard, right?
No, on the Barnes Gonzalez undercard.
Oh, Ronaldo scored tonight.
You're gonna have your name first, Paddy. It's gonna be Barnes ahead of Gonzalez.
Alphabetical order.
What else have you covered here? Because I don't want to kind of go over old ground.
No, mate, just you ask.
So what I was going to
know if we've done it before.
You know what I was going to ask? I think Sam asked it, but he's a retard.
We've already asked it.
Aye, we probably have. Like, you know how Seaford like the Commonwealth Games that you fight for Northern Ireland?
No, I didn't. I didn't ask that.
No, we know that, but you're a prick. Right, and basically, see for the Olympics you fight for Ireland.
Yeah.
I understand the reasons why, right? But what sort of reception do you actually get back home? Is it an alright reception? I'll tell you my opinion. See, before I went to Belfast, I had a right bad opinion. I had a right bad opinion of Belfast. Well, I had impression of Belfast. being like Afghanistan, because you always see the news and you paint this picture. I went there and I felt safer in Belfast than I did in Glasgow, and that's not a lie. And I loved it. The 2 times I've been there, obviously I went for like Frampton fights, but I fucking loved it. But do you actually just get? Is there no problem with regards to that? No.
It's funny, you know why? Right? You go to Commonwealth Games, right? And you win the Commonwealth Games, and you're applauded by all those so-called Republicans. You know, people who hate on Iran, all Paddy Barnes won the Commonwealth Games, right? But then I get offered an MBE by the Queen, and now I'm a cunt. So a fight in the British Games, win a British title, I get applauded for it. Then I get an award off the Queen because I'm so good at boxing. But so now I'm a cunt. So why wasn't there a cunt when I won the gold medal for the Commonwealth Games?
Yeah, I can remember when you got that, and I spoke to Mark McFarlane about it, and I was like, this must be quite a tricky situation. I was like, basically because I know the background, everything, but like, see if you see an MBE obviously kind of opens kind of doors to sponsorships and shit like that. I was like, it must be a good bit of money to kind of turn down if you don't accept something like that.
Oh, just like I don't want to alienate both sides, you know. I want to be fucking. I don't want to be like showing disrespect to anybody, so I just took it. You know what I mean?
Did you go over to pick it up?
No.
So they just sent it out to you?
Yeah, I got them posted to me because I don't want to go over and get a photo taken. You know what I mean?
Nah. I mean, everybody knows my political views. I'm not shy to express them, but I did say to Mark at the time, my Mark's obviously for Dublin, so he doesn't get wrapped in and all of that, but I did say at the time, I was like, it's kind of a bit awkward situation because of where you're from, and because you can basically kind of play 2 sides, you can fight for Northern Ireland. But I think it was like Sam in the DM chat, he says, is that, what does he do that for? And I was like, well, I think if he had the option of like fighting for Northern Ireland and the Olympics, he would probably do that. I was like,
no, definitely
would you not?
No, 100%.
Oh well.
No, it's that fight for Ireland. The only reason to fight for Northern Ireland was because I get the chance to fight
in Commonwealth Games because Republic aren't in the Commonwealth.
Exactly, you know, because like Commonwealth Games is a lot of countries on TV, so it's building my profile. So it's easy to go and fight and get on TV and fight.
I had tickets for the final for the Commonwealth Games. And
why didn't you go?
Oh, because that daft cowie sister of mine decided to get married that day, didn't she?
Fuck's sake.
And right up to the day before, I was saying to my brother and that, look, I'm going to go to this final. I was like, I don't really give a fuck. And they're like, you can't, you're at the head table. And you're meant to be giving a speech. And I was like, well, she doesn't need me there. I was like, I don't really want to be there. I was like, I'm going to go. And my older brother used to be a bit of a head case, right, and he could batter my cunt in. So I basically shot it and just went to the wedding instead. But I was fucking raging because Flynn, he stays round the corner from me. He won gold as well. It was just a fucking shit fest. And I left the wedding when they were doing the speeches, went in and watched the box and seen everybody winning golds and that, and I was like, I just wanted to just wave my sister's face right in. I was devastated that day because it was like basically that arena had just opened as well. So, and I hadn't been there yet, and I've still not been for the boxing.
Bram, when are you going to go to another boxing show?
I don't know. I tried to talk myself into going. Like, I can get discounted tickets for the Pacquiao fight, and I was trying to work out how much it's going to cost me. And I think it was like to go for like 2 days, it was going to cost me £1,500, and that was including my ticket. And
that's not too much.
It seems a lot of money, right? But I'm a single guy and I don't really do much else with it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I don't want. People think I'm weird when I'm trying to fight this fucking one-man band with regards to like not going to certain fights. But if I don't agree with something, I'm not going to spend my money on it. As much as I wanted to go to Manchester and like support like Cal, I I didn't like the way it all went about, like with the WBA.
Yeah.
The WBA deliberately stripping Regal, and then like making that unification just because they wanted money, and I knew that's exactly why they done it. And I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the Burns fight for the exact same reason. Now I'll go to the Broner fight. I would go to that, but I don't want to go to this because it's the exact same shite.
Yeah. But so
people think I'm on this like moral high ground. I think I'm better than other people. That's not the case. I spent absolute thousands upon thousands of my own money going to like fights. I went to I think it was like 4 different countries last year, like going to like fights. It's not cheap. Boxing isn't cheap to go and support. So I'd rather like just kind of keep my money. I tell you, see, I would be two-faced. I would definitely two-faced. See if the Frampton Quick fight was in Belfast, I would have went to it. I think just the situation like Manchester doesn't really interest me. It sounded like a great good fucking weekend. I
think too, Brian, that if you were seen in Manchester, you'd probably be attacked.
I'd probably there'd have been a good chance. I don't maybe if like Can's Jim seen me, there'd have been a good chance I would have died.
Me, no.
But I don't know.
Brian, who do you think is a better promoter? Frank Warren or Eddie Hearn?
No, there's
no comparison, is there?
There isn't. No, but Eddie's good at what he's doing. He just doesn't give us the fights that we want, and especially see when he puts them on pay-per-view, they're still not the fights that we want. Let's be honest here. I don't care how many pay-per-view buys that somebody bought Joshua v White. That should not have been pay-per-view. I mean, that card at the weekend, I only watched the main fight, but we all knew what was going to happen. And for Eddie Hearn to basically come out and absolutely pan that card, well, it's not as if he took responsibility for that card. He's the one that put it on. Like he knew how many shite people were on that card and how like that busy was trash, absolute fucking trash. But he basically put the responsibility onto the boxers as if the boxers were the problem and he didn't do nothing. But he's the one that put that card on.
And he brought Gavin over knowing full well he was fucking injured as well.
Yeah, that's true. Like. I know that the Frampton card was a co-promotion, but he could have at least put some more on that undercard.
Yeah.
I can't remember a single fight off that undercard.
Gavin McDonnell was on it, but I can't remember.
Gavin McDonnell. And he was the co-headline, was it?
Burnett was on it as well.
I didn't go round to watch it until 9:30, I think, and fucking it's just, look, obviously I was buzzing after the fight, wasn't I? I was like high as a kite. Then we done a podcast after it, but. I don't know, like, with regards to the next fight, I'm going to get, I don't know, I want to see what, it's fucking touch and go here because I want to go to New York at the end of the year. I want to go to New York and maybe Ward Kovalev, but I don't know if Carl's going to do us a solid and fight fucking Leo Santa Cruz in LA, and that's going to shaft me right up into it because I'll end up.
Oh mate, if that fight goes to StubHub, you've got to go to that. That'll be amazing.
But I'm going to have to go to Vegas then as well, innit? Because it's 4 hours up the road.
Well, Carlin, Santa Cruz looking like July.
Aye, exactly, and that's a pain in the arse, isn't it? Because it's too early for me.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, Paddy? It's quite apropos actually your question about who's the better promoter, because today is actually Bob Arum's 50th. His 50th birthday of being a promoter. 50 years ago today, he did his first fight. I was wondering who do you prefer out of Hearn and Warren, and then also who's your sort of best pound for pound promoter at the moment?
Well, I don't really know because the reason I asked the question for it because I'm talking to Frank Warren at the minute, so I could possibly become professional with him. But promoter ways, Eddie Hearn is good talking shit. So he's good at making fair money. So he has to give him his dues. Like he can talk shit, but people are still buying his cards.
What I find that is like he's marketed social media. He knows how to use social media, and like Warren's never been able to do it, and Hearn's been great at it. But what I find as well, like this might sound fucking stupid, right? And see if people slag me, you can go fuck yourselves out on the chat. Fuck off, right? See the fact that like the last 10 years, it's basically got this reality TV bullshit. Like he's right good. He's got that kind of Towie look about him, and he's obviously in fucking Towie, isn't he? And he's good at fucking marketing, like that Sarge and shit like that. I know his wife's got a business with like Sim's daughter, who's also
Yeah.
in Towie, right? He's just in all that kind of reality TV. He's just basically like somebody that's been brought up with this new age, and he's done great with it. Warren's not. Hearn's a right good promoter. I cannot deny it, but I can't stand him because he lies all the time. Warren doesn't lie because he just doesn't care.
He does lie, but he just doesn't pretend that they're not lies anymore.
Basically, but his lies are cool because they're just pure bullshit. But Hearn's let's see that rhyming off all these names that's going to fight Kell Brook Sheffield. That's not going to happen. I've already said this in the chat views. I was like, he said July the fight with Kell Brook. He mentioned Thurman and Porter. They're fighting in June, so they toured right out the equation right at the start, right? Why? And Vargas has already said, regardless of if Pacquiao beats Bradley or not, it doesn't matter if Bradley wins, right? He still wants the Bradley fight because he feels as if he gets shafted in that last round. He wants that fight. He's not going to give him Danny Garcia, because why would they give him Danny Garcia when he can just basically keep it in-house and say, Garcia, there's an easy fight. You're going to fight the winner of Porter Thurman later in the year. But unless Kell Brook goes over there and signs for Heyman, which Heyman looks as if he's never wanted to do in the first place, why is Heyman going to do him a solid? Because Brook could probably beat every one of the guys. Why? It's just fucking stupid. And see if he goes up to 154. All the guys are like, they're not big paydays. Unless you've got like Cotto and Canelo, right? They're not big paydays. They're a squaddy like black, slick fighters.
Cotto's the one, mate. That's what they should try and make.
But he's going to fight Liam Smith at Anfield.
Maybe Brook could get on the undercard and then maybe fight the winner.
But see, just to kind of finish off this question, like Paddy, see the thing is with Eddie Hearn, he's got Sky, and Sky's got like a 24-hour rolling news channel.
Yeah.
That's basically it. He's good on Twitter, right? Granted, right? Because Warren's got IFL and all. It's not as if like Hearn's only got that. So the one that Hearn's got that Warren hasn't got is Sky Sports TV. And regardless of what people think here, it just shows the same shit over and over and over and over. But it's free advertising, and Hearn's getting that.
It is.
And the thing with Hearn and Warren is Warren's running a TV channel that he's having to pay for, right? He's got a spot like a backer, right? I thought, look, Fanny's in the chat, weighed in again. But Hearn does, it's Sky that's doing all this for the boxing. Hearn doesn't produce that himself. It's not as if like Matchroom are like the producers of the boxing.
Yeah.
They produce the darts, so they're not paying anything for that. So Sky are great. That's just basically what it is. See, if you stuck Warren back on Sky, which I wanted in the first place, I wanted all the promoters to be on there and fight for dates. See, if you put Warren back on Sky, I guarantee you Warren would just do as good as Eddie Hearn right now. It's just the fact that the platform that they're in. I mean, I know people turn around and say, oh, but like Barry McGuigan seems to do all right when he goes on ITV, but he's got an anomaly. He has got an actual fucking star already in Cal Frampton, and you just go over to Belfast, the place is absolute fucking pandemonium when he's fighting.
I know.
The way I oh, sorry, Paddy. Just quickly, Brian. I think if you're an average fighter, like a sort of British level, Euro level fighter, then Hearn is the best because he'll get you inflated and potentially get you a title shot when you don't deserve it, right? If you're Brian Rowe, Eddie Hearn is the best place to be. But if you're a guy like Billy Joe or a guy like James DeGale, who's legitimately a world level fighter, then I think Warren's better, and I think Warren can get you places that Hearn can't. And if you look at Billy Joe, the way his career's progressed, and forget about the Golovkin stuff for a minute, but in terms of how he's gone up, English, British, European, Commonwealth, world level, he's had all the shots at home and he's done it in the right order and he's learned in every single fight, and he's an undefeated world champion. Whereas if you look at a guy like Brook, where he's just he's had to go abroad, get a mandatory, win it, come back here, fight nobodies, and you look at guys like Stephen, I don't know, even Stephen Smith, he's been waiting for like 18 months to get his mandatory shot. Now he's having to go to America. The only one Hearn's really kind of brought along perfectly is Joshua. But that's because Joshua kind of promotes himself, really, doesn't he?
Well, I think that's where he's going to go eventually. I think he'll do a David Tay.
Yeah,
if he doesn't lose in the next 3 years with his deal running out, he'll do a David Tay and self-promote. I mean, there's another thing. Eddie Hearn's done an absolute fucking world-class job with the Joshua, man. He has fought some fucking bums, but the fan base he's got is unfucking real. I hate every one of them right enough, but you can't deny he's done a good job with that. I can't believe how much credit I'm giving this guy. Oh.
It's only really Joshua though. Like, who else has he brought along? He's brought Luke Campbell along, and he was matched too easy, and then he stepped up and he lost. So I think Warren would have done a much better job with Luke Campbell, just for one example.
Warren matches these guys a lot harder. There's no denying that. It's just
Gavin did a lot better with Warren than he's done with Hearn as well.
So I'd be on the flip
But
side.
he got the Bundu fight and fucked up though, didn't he?
No, on the flip side of that, like Hearn got him headlining a pay-per-view, didn't he? So fuck, come on, get this topic. I'm giving Hearn too much fucking credit here.
But for my money, Aram's the best in the world still, and there's a reason he's been in it for 50 years or whatever and successful.
So what do you think? What do you think
Sorry,
about
Paddy,
Kid
go on.
Galahad?
Sorry, say again, mate.
What do you think about Kid Galahad saying about Scott Quigg and Carl Frampton and the British Boxing Board of Control should have withhold their money?
But they should withhold his fucking license. So he should
Exactly.
keep his mouth shut.
Yeah. A cheating bastard.
Yeah, I don't like, and I don't know what your thoughts were on it, Paddy. But a lot of British, fans and media were seem quite happy to have him back. And we were sitting there thinking, well, he's a cheat. Why do you want him back? Like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's very strange.
I don't get that though. I've got total zero tolerance to steroids in boxing and MMA. I have zero fucking tolerance.
Especially when the guy doesn't admit it, and makes up some shitty excuse. Yeah.
But it was like, so I was listening to somebody a couple of weeks ago. I cannot remember where that is. Was it maybe Gabe Montoya? It was Gabe Montoya on the boxing asylum saying that was that Larry O get caught taking steroids, but he stuck somebody in, so he got a lesser ban to give somebody else a bigger ban. That's fucking ridiculous.
He made like a plea bargain, which is.
But why are you getting a plea bargain to give somebody else a ban as well? Just fucking ban the lot of them. Larry O.
Just ban the fucking other one, right?
Would you support lifetime bans, no questions asked, Paddy?
100%.
Yeah, I think that's the way they've got to go, isn't it? It's got to be zero tolerance, otherwise people are just gonna. And I've in the last week, I've read stories about Ortiz, I've read stories about Peterson, Berto, all of these guys, and you think at one point or another they've all been done for it, and now that yet they're still headlining shows, they're still selling tickets and getting big paydays. It's crazy.
They've got to go after one of the big guys, haven't they?
You're treating yourself up to potentially go and do damage to somebody who's not taking these drugs. So you're at an advantage. You're equipping yourself with greater benefits in order to potentially kill someone.
Imagine if something imagine if it turned out, hopefully it won't, but imagine if it turned out that Eubank had been taking something before the Blackwell.
Exactly.
It would just be so horrible, and it would be a criminal act.
He's going to jail.
Yeah. And they need to make an example of someone. I agree.
Yeah.
Who is it, Paddy? Who is it does the testing for the Olympics? Is it USADA? No, who is it does the testing?
It's WADA. It's the World Cup.
Right.
So do you get tested 365?
Yeah, they can come out any time.
Yeah. It's the way it should be, really. And who pays for that, Paddy?
Blood and urine test, and you take on your trousers to your knees and lift your top up to your chest so they'll watch you piss.
So it's basically when you go to Ibiza and you meet a looky bub and you get a blowjob.
You don't get the blowjob, but you they have to watch you.
I didn't know.
So they're making sure you've not got a piss bag or something, and yeah.
Yeah, there's no mess about, you know what I mean? It's
a Tyson, like a fake penis.
Well, that's why before the call I give myself a wee rub. You know what I mean?
Getting a bit of life into it.
Who pays for the testing, Paddy? Would it be the Irish Boxing Board or?
I think it's to be honest, I think it's the Sports Council, the Irish Sports Council.
Okay.
The government.
And all the Olympic nations would have the same things with their fighters, right?
Yeah. I presume anyway.
It has to just be a rule, doesn't it? I mean, I think it's got to be the same.
To be honest, even to this day, I'm sitting here, right? Do you read about them Russian athletes, getting caught in Beijing and London, and athletes behind them who came fourth get upgraded to bronze and gold medals. Like, I think they should be testing Zhu Jiming because I have a gold medal here.
Yeah, and you think potentially you could have been tweeted out.
Zhu Jiming could have been juiced up. Like, you know what I mean? I have 2 gold medals already.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it. But I think.
Test them.
What do you think of the sanctioning bodies starting to say that they won't rank fighters who aren't, testing, doing voluntary testing and all this stuff? I think that's a really good move.
Yeah, definitely. Like, why wouldn't you get tested? What have you got to hide?
Well, exactly. They say it's money, but these guys are earning, guys who are earning $5 million a fight. It's not going to be a prohibitive cost, is it? Yeah. It always makes me laugh. I think Marquez once said that Varda was too expensive before the Bradley fight, and then you remembered he just made like 15 million quid 6 months before. It was a bit ridiculous. Yeah. Brian.
Yeah.
You want to do a rant about Blackwell Eubank or anything?
Have you spoke about that, like?
Oh, just briefly. We just sort of said.
No, I don't like being controversial. People know that, don't they? But I find it fucking absolutely pathetic that Eubank Jr.'s coming out here and basically saying that his dad told him to stop punching because he knew what was happening here. Like, basically taking some credit for that. He can't. Let's see if you watch the rounds afterwards that he had this. He still fucking hit me about 40 uppercuts. He didn't in any way, shape or form stop going to the head. Right. So see this, like, I don't want to be too hard here. Like, the guy's in hospital and he's really fucking badly here, but I don't like the way that Eubank's somehow trying to take some moral high ground here. Like, he's done something right. No, he didn't. He just done what he was supposed to do at a boxer. He didn't stop going to the head or nothing like that. So why are you now
trying to knock him out, wasn't he?
But I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I don't like the way that he's now trying to gain some sort of I don't know what the word is here, cunt. But
the only reason he says go to the body because Blackwell's so tough to the head, so he knew he could knock him out.
Well, that's exactly why he said it. He was obviously concerned, like, saying that the referee's not going to stop this fight. Maybe Eubank Senior did see something in that, but he told him to go to the body because this guy's tough as fuck. Yeah. The fight's not going to get stopped that way. He's just going to keep coming at you. So go to the body, weaken him, put him down. That's exactly what it was. At no point did Eubank actually stop going to the head either. So I don't know why he's saying that. I don't get why they're having to come out and do that, because I know newspapers love a good fucking a feel good story here, but the guy's still in hospital here, so don't try and make out something that didn't happen.
Yeah, they're constantly humors.
But
having said that, though, right, and I know that it's a situation like this. We're all proper fans. It makes us angry and upset when it happens. But if we actually think about it, the ambulance was there. The stretcher was there. The paramedics were there within 30 seconds of him collapsing. Apparently, it was only 20 minutes until he got to the hospital. So if you actually think about it, they did, and by all the sort of messages that are coming out of the surgery, they don't need to actually operate on his skull, and they're going to bring him out of a coma soon. And I actually think they did a really good job, and everyone should come out with a lot of credit. To be honest, I thought it was really well organised, and like Hennessy or whoever put on the show and got organised the paramedics should be really pleased with themselves, because the last thing you want is like, some the doctor takes 15 minutes to get to the ring or whatever it is, and then it takes another hour for them to get to, like Magomed getting dumped out on the street in New York and having to get his own cab to the hospital. I think I thought it was pretty good, and everyone comes out with credit, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Basically, it's like everyone else. See, once there's a bit of tragedy, there's always people trying to point the blame out to somebody, and I know the referees go to it a bit. Lockett's had it a bit.
Has Lockett said anything since the fight? Has he come out and commented or anything?
I don't know. I don't follow him on Twitter.
He hasn't said fuck all.
No.
But he's not going to, is he? Until they know what's actually wrong with, if Nick wakes up and he's fine, then they can start talking. Or if they wake up and he's in a bad way, then perhaps they can start talking. But until they know, what's he going to say?
Sam,
there's no. Yeah.
Are you Evan Robinson in this case?
No, mate.
You sound like.
I sound like a fucking foreigner from Bristol, mate.
That's right. It definitely doesn't look like Ed Robinson. You should see him. He looks like a fucking revolting cunt.
Oh, fuck off, that bastard.
Oh, I don't think it was anything for that. I was fucking pretty low that.
You look like a nonce.
But see, they were all trying to blame people. I don't think there was any real empty to blame. See, I thought, like I've already said this to you in the chat. I thought like Buglioni took a worse beating for 12 rounds, and that wasn't stopped, and he's absolutely perfectly fine. Just this doesn't happen often. This happens very rare. And
the last lad Chudinov like beat up like that. The last lad Chudinov, he was in as bad a state as Nick Blackwell, and he was fine. He's fought 4 times since then.
Exactly.
It's one of them things that happens every now and then.
It's boxing.
It's the sport we love, isn't it?
It's boxing. You're gonna get dug in the head, like, you know what I mean? You know what to expect, and things that gets here rarely happen.
Paddy, can I ask you something? Because I've seen a lot of mainly Paul Smith, come out and say, "Oh, we put our lives on the line. You can't criticise us." Are you one of them as well? Like, because if a boxer is shit performance, I think we pay to watch him, we pay to support it. We should be entitled to say that was fucking shit.
Yeah.
We shouldn't not be allowed to say anything just because there's a risk you might get hurt. Where do you stand with that?
It's hard to say, you know. I agree with the people pay good money to watch shows, so the boxers should fight to their best ability. Yes, I do agree with that. But in the same token, you know, boxers' lives are on the line, so probably in the middle with you there.
Yeah, there is a fine line, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a fine line. I do agree. Like, the boxer should try his best, because at the end of the day, it's a business, and there are paying fans.
But there are situations where a guy, you know, clearly won't have trained properly and won't give it their all, and then you feel like you know, like, I don't know, the Rios Alvarado. Do you remember the third fight when Alvarado just he quit after 3 rounds? He just hadn't been training at all, in no shape at all. And I think on that case, he is kind of stealing money from the fans, but at the same time,
I think something like that there blatantly, he should take his purse, half his purse taken off.
Yeah, I think he actually might have done, or I think there was like an investigation into it, and I think the same thing for the Darren Barker against Felix Sturm fight when he was just clearly injured, but like kept it a secret or whatever.
There was calls to withhold Fraudley's purse against David Hay, weren't there?
Fraudley had to. Ollie Horson had to pay to fight, never mind get paid. He is absolutely shit.
They should have held that. They should have withheld that. Who was Hayes' last opponent? Demori. Should have taken his fucking. I don't think he threw a punch. Honestly, that was shy.
But Ollie Horson should be in jail for fraud. Like, he has to be blocked from Twitter.
That's the only fucking good defensive skills he's ever had. Fucking ban. Paddy, I totally forgot. Like, you fucking beat Ian Butcher in the Commonwealth Games, you wee bastard.
That's right. So it did.
What wee bastard. Ian Butcher was just fucking stays down the road for me.
Here, Ian Butcher's fighting.
He's fighting for the Commonwealth next month.
Yeah.
No, sorry, me.
The guy he's fighting, I beat him in Olympic Games.
Is he? Aye. What Olympic Games?
London. He's from Cameroon. I beat him in the first fight.
What, Thomas? He's from Cambodia.
Thomas Asomba.
That's right, aye.
Yeah, I beat him as well.
How good is he? Is he any good?
He's not bad, like. He should be the end, like.
The Janko beat Ian?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll fucking wreck that place if that happens. I quite like Ian.
I like Ian, like. I like Ian, but I think Thomas is too good, like.
Oh, fucking raging at that.
Oh, really.
I like Ian. He's like.
I like Twist.
He got a bit of.
He supports Rangers, but.
Nah, so he does. Aye, the Butchers, I so they do.
Fuck him, man.
Aye, fuck Ian Butcher. I'm going to message him on Facebook and tell him he's a prick. Nah, but he's an alright wee guy. Like.
Yeah, he's dead on.
He did. I think he beat him. Who's that wee Scouts bar? I think he beat Satchel. I think he got.
I have told Frank Warren and NGM that I want to fight Kevin Satchel on my debut, and they say it can be done.
There you go, make a statement, mate. Yeah, do it. I think people want to see that in this era.
Definitely, I want to fight him on my debut.
What is it with you and like Michael Conlon want to go win gold in your debuts, want to fight for British titles and shit like that?
Because the scene is so shit, we can beat them. What's the point of waiting about?
That's not what we're used to. We're used to about 25 shitty fights before you fight for the British.
We're used to you against Thatcher being on pay-per-view, yeah.
I don't even want to fight for the British title. I want to just fight for the European world.
I basically said that to see what your reaction would be.
Paddy, can we ask, while we've got you, did you see any of the other fights at the weekend? Did you see Andre Ward or anyone like that?
I won't watch him. He's boring as fuck.
Who?
It was quite a good fight though. It wasn't too bad. He was a bit more aggressive than normal.
To me, up until the weekend, he was retired. I don't like him.
Are you not? Well, he fought Paul Smith.
Survived Paul Smith.
Paul Smith.
I would repeat what I said last week about Andre Ward. That I like him when he's not holding and being a dirty bastard, and he boxes really well. And come Saturday night there, I actually quite enjoyed watching him fight. He didn't hold, and see when there was a bit of, the two of them were together, he was fighting to get released, and I enjoyed it. I actually fucking really enjoyed it.
I think Andre Ward
he was fighting out of the clinch. He wasn't just wanting to sit there and fucking cuddle. And I know that people are saying that he didn't throw a right hand, but I was the total opposite. I didn't notice that he threw the right hand. I just says that he was left hand happy, and I didn't notice he wasn't using the right hand. I just thought he just kept throwing the same hand over and over. But it's not because he wasn't using one hand. It was just because he was getting a lot of joy with
He was catching Barrera's punches, wasn't he? Incredibly well with his left hand, and then coming back with the right. But I thought that he got involved in a number of sort of proper clean exchanges, and it was there were a couple of really good rounds, and obviously the knockdown, and it did look exciting. I don't know how he'd do against Kovalev. It's still I think that's still a proper 50-50. Do you have a favourite in that one, Paddy, if it happens?
I still think Andy Ward is too classy for him. Kovalev fights for Kovalev is very good, but he fights the same way all the time.
I'm surprised that you don't like Ward. I thought.
No, I don't really like him.
So
Ward to me is like you and Paul Smith.
I would fuck Paul Smith right up.
I fucking like Paul Smith.
Get off.
And did you see the matchroom card at all, Paddy? I know there wasn't really much to see, but did you watch it from Sheffield?
I think I watched the fight. I don't watch the big fight, no, because I watched the Eubank fight.
Wasn't a lot to see. I don't think the guy had any interest in fighting, really, sadly.
Yeah. No, I just watched Channel 5 instead.
Paddy, can you get that over there? Oh, you're Northern Ireland, isn't it? You can get it, because Mark can't get it. I thought for a minute there, I thought even Southern Ireland. Just ignore me. But maybe this has been asked, right? I'm going to go back to the fucking amateurs. Who in your opinion is the best ever amateur?
Lomachenko.
Really?
Well, it'd be hard. Lomachenko, or three. Lomachenko, Rigondo, or Kindlen.
Mm.
It's hard to pick.
Golovkin was pretty good as well. Did Golovkin ever win Olympic gold? I'm not sure if he did.
Silver.
I think.
He got beat, didn't he?
Yes, silver, yeah.
See, we're all massive Lomachenko fans. I know that Paul, who's known, he's still fucking hard miss, but I don't know if he's just trying to be one of the hipster fuckers.
He's a Rigo bum sniff, isn't he?
I said that. Do you like watching Rigo though? If you don't like Ward?
Rigo's the fucking best ever in the world. Rigo's better than Mayweather.
I've killed you, Paddy, man. What the fuck's happening here?
You like Paul Smith and he's better than Mayweather.
He's a better amateur than Mayweather, Brian. That's not.
Listen, you watch Rigo, right? He fights like Mayweather, but only he attacks more.
Yeah, but he doesn't because he's at a much slower pace. Well, I suppose they're both slow, aren't they?
He's just class. He's just the best boxer in the whole world ever.
So you pick. So if Rigo fought Lomachenko, then how do you think it would go? I mean, because that's
Rigo.
You think Rigo would beat Lomachenko?
Yeah. Yep.
Even though I think Lomachenko's quite a lot bigger. That's the only thing that would worry me is whether he could sort of bully him a bit.
He'd outthrow him.
See, I don't think Lomachenko would fight like that though. But bullying, Lomachenko's constantly just on the move. He moves far more than Rigo does.
To be honest, I think it'd be a really 50-50 fight. Like,
I would love it.
It'd be the fucking best fight ever.
See when the rumours were coming out that they were discussing to have either a fight at 126 or maybe a catch weight, I actually had a wank in the shower over it. I was that horny.
I still think Lomachenko Walters is still a good fight. I'll still be happy with that if that's the replacement. But
That's not going to happen.
Lomachenko will fucking murder Walters.
See, I've said that. I've said Walters is a hype job.
I said he was a fucking hype job first. Right.
Oh, no, you didn't. I said it back in 2002.
When he was a 15-year-old amateur.
When he's fucking nappies.
I thought he got very lucky to beat Donaire. I think Donaire had him out on his feet, but then the round ended. I think he was quite lucky. And Donaire's half his size. I think Walters is very beatable if you get the right person in front of him.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
I think Rocco's trying to get on at some point. I think he's got a question, but he's logging in and out.
Paddy, who is there any like, top? Obviously there is because there's fucking millions of them. Is there any top Cubans like in your weight division for this Olympics?
Well, at my weight, the Cuban is the current world champion.
I see, that just shows you that I have absolutely no clue about fucking amateur boxing, and I would have known that.
Up because he won the world gold, right? But I was in WSB. I didn't enter, and I came number 1 WSB, and he came 5th behind me. You know what I mean?
Did you fight him?
No. Even the other side of the group.
He shot it, didn't he? So is that going to be your main opposition then?
No. I think I'll kill it. I think he'd be an easy fight for me to stay.
Can you do us a favour when you do turn pro? Can you just knock out Charlie Edwards for me? I hate that pig-faced little cunt. So if you could just come and do him some damage and then fuck off again, I'd really appreciate that.
But he won't fight Selby.
Selby's the truth. That's why.
Yeah, would you like the Selby fight in the future, Paddy?
Me, yeah, definitely.
Brian's got a prediction for What's your prediction, Brian? That people will vacate and he'll
never fight for a belt against a champion until a world title because they'll just vacate the belts.
Yeah, so he'll be doing a Costa. Yeah.
I think there's like 4 people that's already fucking turned down fights with him, and he's only had 4 fights.
He can't punch, but he's very fast.
Well, that's it. I think he might. I'm not saying he's like a kind of Eubank, but he'll just throw that amount of punches like a Calzaghe. Yeah. Oh, Joe Calzaghe. Oh, Sir Joe Calzaghe. He'll just basically throw that amount of punches. He'll end up putting people down.
And he's fit as fuck as well.
He's what?
He's very fit as well.
He's wanting to get that moustache sorted out. That's what he's wanting to do.
I know.
He looks like a 70s porn star, doesn't he?
So that's the weight division you're going to be in then when you after the Olympics. I'll be like Edwards, Patel, Selby.
Yeah.
That's no bad weight division like over here.
But don't even mention Patel. Who the fuck's he?
So I tell you what, see if you fight Patel in your first fight in Belfast or whatever. I'm coming here.
I can't. Hold on.
Yeah, that'd be a good debut.
You're quite lucky, really, aren't you? Because you don't really have many people domestically at the lower weight, so you're coming along at the right time, really. So if you domestic scraps in there, you might earn a bit of money.
See, this is going to sound controversial here, Paddy, but I think that Estrada beats Gonzalez in the rematch.
I hope not.
Why?
Because I want to stay undefeated until I fight him.
I need him to fucking get the Mayweather curse and lose.
Listen,
I do think Estrada beats him. I'm more an Estrada fan. I love watching Gonzalez fight, but I'm more an Estrada fan. He's more my fucking boy.
He's not fighting Estrada.
I know, but they will eventually.
You reckon?
I'll make it.
Estrada's ducking it, mate. Been ducking it for a year.
Whatever.
He's asked for $1 million for a flyweight fight on an HBO undercard. It's mad.
But this Puerto Rican's pretty good, like too. He's strong as fuck.
Arroyo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he is actually decent. I've seen him once before. That's a good fight That's on the Golovkin Wade card, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was him or his brother was world amateur champion.
They should be a good test, I think, because I rated Viloria, but he was a bit old by the time he fought Gonzalez, wasn't he? Been around a long time. Paddy, can I ask you?
That guy fucking Inu, the Japanese guy.
Inu?
Yeah.
Aye.
He was at the World Championships when I was there, and he lost his first fight.
He's only a boy. He's only about 21.
I know.
Yeah, he's only had like 11 fights or something. Hardly.
Yeah, 11 fights. He won the world title in 7 fights.
Hi, and he's a 2-weight world champion.
I know, fuck me, like.
He looks huge at the weight. I don't know how long he'll be able to stay around there, to be honest. He looks absolutely massive.
Yeah.
Paddy, speaking of which, can I ask you what are your thoughts on, if we just do a couple of the big fights, what are your thoughts on Canelo against Khan? Do you think is it a stupid fight for Khan to take, or do you reckon he's got a chance?
I think it's a brilliant fight for him to take. He's going to make millions out of it, and he has a chance with his speed, but I think if Canelo catches him, he's going to kill him.
I think you're probably right.
I fucking think I gave Khan credit for taking that fight. Just that, you know what? Basically, I gave Khan credit for taking the fight because
it was more of a fuck Eddie Hearn thing.
Oh, that's all it was, wasn't it, man?
Yeah.
I was in my glory that day, but see when I think about it, like, I'm like, oh, it's ballsy as fuck. He's jumping up 2 divisions. He's technically not. He's only got up 1 division plus a pound, right? But
Brooks should fight Alan Briggs.
no, he should fight Youssef Mack with 2 fucking poofs. But I think Khan's going to. I think he's going to get fucking leathered, man. He's going to get leathered.
How long do you see it going, Brian?
I don't know. See, Canelo's the sort of guy that's not vicious enough that he'll actually go stalking him and want to hurt him. Canelo's the kind of guy that he would probably be happy going 12 rounds. But
he went after Kirkland.
That's true. But
Kirtland couldn't move away. That's why.
But Kirtland went after him. It's not as if Khan's going after him. But I don't know who's got a better chin, Kirtland or Khan.
Yeah, I don't know. I found with the Canelo Kirkland fight, obviously it was over very quickly. But it was as soon as Canelo landed a couple of body shots, Kirkland you could see his legs turned to jelly basically, and he couldn't get out of the way anymore.
I can remember when Khan just went to Freddie Roach, and I thought this was fucking. I know a lot of people hate Freddie like me. I thought this was quite a good thing that he says. He basically said we're not going to change anything with regards to his technique or his upper body. All we're going to do is put weight on his legs, because that's where he's got his where I think it's hot in the chin. That's where it's going to keep him up. And I think that's what he's going to need to do here. He's going to need to put on some serious fucking muscle on his legs to be able to cope with these punches. I mean, his jaw's not going to fucking change. It's just if he can stand up straight long enough. So he better not be missing leg day. And if they pictures are true, I hope they pictures are true, because he looks absolutely jacked.
Apparently that's been photoshopped, that one.
I don't care, man. I'm just kidding on. It's real.
But if it's really, it could potentially slow him down.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it will make him able to take the punch. I think he wants to go for speed. Yeah.
Well, Khan didn't think so. Khan actually said on the HBO podcast that going up in weight is making him faster.
Yeah, but he's going to say that, and he's not going to say it's making me slow as fuck.
Well, he's defying the law of physics then, isn't he?
Well, I don't see any way it could make him faster. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I listened to that pod. It was a bit weird.
It's not as if it's like Ben Johnson, where he's like taking fucking EPO and all that, and all of a sudden he's rapid. He's just bolting round the ring. Like, carry on, Shep.
Well, I was going to say, I think what was the fight with who was it from Josecito Lopez? I think that was 5 rounds, and then Canelo knocked him out. I was going to say, I don't know. I think if Khan goes longer than that, he's doing quite well, to be honest. But I don't see him any way he can win, really. Especially, and he won't get a decision either. He won't get a decision, even if he does.
He can box for a while, can there? That's the thing, and he drags himself into a war needlessly for no reason at all. He's just going to have a tear up, and as soon as he does that, he's going to get finished straight away.
I don't think he's intelligent enough to box for 12 rounds.
No,
but he doesn't even move like a boxer either. He just kind of goes back and forward. Like, you know how they mad Atari 2000 runners?
Yeah.
Aye, but it's just back and forward. He doesn't use any lateral movement or nothing. So at some point he's going to get punched right in the jaw, and then I would want Khan to win just for the total fucking laugh that would get. Just think of the trolling that he would do if he was a lineal middleweight champion. Could you picture that?
Do you think he'd be mad enough to fight Golovkin as well?
Aye, he's a daft bastard, isn't he?
He'd be stupid. He'd say something like, "Right, if my name can go first, I'll fight Golovkin," or something mad like that. And he'd make Hearn and Brook an offer of like 95-5.
That's what he should do. He should just basically say, right, Eddie Hearn, we're going to go into discussions here to make the Brook fight, but we're periscope that so everybody can see what I'm going to do. And then just gets in here and Eddie's like, oh, we'll give you 60-40. Shut your fucking mouth, Cockney. There's 5%, and you will accept it. Suck my balls.
95 and then an extra 5 to the winner or something. Yeah. 95 to Khan. Oh dear.
Go on, Shep.
Well, we've had a few questions in from people. They're not really, apologies, Paddy. We hadn't announced that you were coming on, so they're not really directed for you. They're some general ones we can all have a go at. We had a good one. Where was it? Well, first one is, do we think Rabras can pull the upset against Fielding at the weekend? I think that's actually quite a good bet for an upset. I think Rabras is 4-1. I might bet on that, but we'll.
Carl was telling me he's going to have that on his tips, I think.
Yeah, I think that's quite a good one. I might stick a fiver on that. The
Oh
other one,
man, your boxing bets are horrendous.
Huh?
Shep's boxing bets,
What?
man.
like Flanagan, UD Matthews.
Oh really?
You right, didn't I, Brian? You thought Matthews was going to knock him out.
No, I didn't.
You did.
Oh, I did. Aye, so what about it? You says Rios was going to knock out Tim Bradley.
Yeah, I did think that. That wasn't a good one. We had one good question, which is Paddy. Maybe this, if you can have a go at this one. It was whether seeing what happened to Blackwell will make someone like Hearn a bit more reluctant to stick Shannon Briggs on his cards. You know, a guy who's pushing 50 and has had taken a lot of punches to the head in his career, or whether promoters will carry on as usual.
Listen, promoters don't give a fuck about boxers. All they care about is money. So, obviously, if it made sense, and he thought that Briggs would make money, he would stick him on. He would stick Briggs on against my granny if he thought they could make money. No one gives a fuck as long as the money's coming in.
Do you find it's a case, as a fighter, do you find it's a case of sort of, I read an interview with Andy Lee recently, and they were asking him about the safety side of it. And he said, look, it's something that I sort of, once I've finished training for the day or once I've finished a fight, I might think about it for a couple of minutes. But as soon as you're in the ring, you have to just forget about all that stuff. And you can't go in there thinking, all right, I've got to be careful because this is dangerous. Like,
No, listen. I said this before, boxing is one of the safest sports in the world. It's very, very rare that things that happen to Nick Blackwell actually happen all the time. It's very rare it happens. And you can't go in the ring thinking, oh fuck, I could die here. It's like going to the shop, cycling in the shop on your bike. You can get fucking hit by a car. You just don't think about it.
Well, they were saying that the same day that Blackwell went, obviously left the ring on a stretcher, the same day 3 cyclists died at a cycling race in Italy or something.
Exactly.
They went over the edge of a cliff or something. No one mentioned it. Yeah, exactly. And it was 3 people who actually died. Yeah, no one mentioned it. No. It's funny the way the perceptions work. Yeah. So it doesn't. You don't think about it at all then.
No, and if I did think about that thing, I probably wouldn't box.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Right, we've got another question. Right, Brian, one for you.
Yeah.
Is April the 16th the most underrated night of boxing? We've got the Leeds card, Spence Algieri, Smith Pedraza, and Glowacki against Cunningham. I forget who's on the Leeds card. Is that it's Warrington, isn't it?
Warrington against that Amagasi or something?
Martin Murray's on it as well, I think.
Martin Murray is known for his legendary tune-up fights.
Oh, the 8-rounder against the Georgian, so we can all look forward to that.
Well, it's
a decent night.
It's a Spence and Glowacki fights on the same card, isn't it?
I think Smith Pedraza is the undercard, isn't it, to Spence Algieri? I think.
No.
You sure? I thought they were both. I thought those were the same card because they're both PBC. I might be wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Glowacki, Cunningham, and Spence Algieri on the same card.
Decent doubleheader. No,
that's a beller. That's quite a good card. That's probably the best card they've put on. I know they can turn around and go back to Thurman Guerrero, Broner, Molina, but the 2 fights were shit.
If Spence destroys Algieri, does Brook move up to 154 in the next couple of months?
It just depends how long his medication for AIDS lasts, doesn't it?
Right. Sam, you agree with that?
Man. See the thing with boxing, though, boxing kind of keeps you shite for 3 weeks, and all of a sudden they just lob it all good fights on the same night. It's fucking stupid. They could space all that out. They could geese a bit more.
What was it you said then about Brooke moving up?
We said if the question was, you're going to have to go some ways to top Brian's answer, but if Spence destroys Algeria, how quickly will Brooke move up to 154?
How much grace has he got now with the IBF?
About 6 months, at least 6 months, I think.
He'll have one. Well, he'll have a fight in the summer, whether a big fight or not. Different story, innit? But he'll fight in the summer. Well, then possibly move up after. Spence looks amazing.
Brian's answer was funnier.
What did he say?
Something about the HIV virus.
Who did he catch it off? Steve Linux.
Fuck's sake. Got to be nice to Lillis. Barry's going to sign with Frank. Paddy's going to sign with Frank Warren. We've got to be nice to him. Got to be nice to that lot on Box Nation.
It's all about Charlie's Web.
That's shit.
You'll be appearing on that soon. You can't say that.
I fucking hate Anthony Google.
Is he still on that? What is that wee fucking all about? I'm pretty sure he's shagging Kell Brook.
He's a dickhead. He probably is.
Oh dear.
Sorry, the guy in the chat's turned around and says it's Gary Russell Jr. It's headlining. He's fighting at Highland, isn't he? And it's Smith Pedraz on that. Good shout.
Yeah, it's an okay fight. I like Russell Jr. I actually do. He's grown on me, but I wish he'd step up a little bit. I tell you, you know I'm 100% against steroids, but I do believe that Gary Russell Jr. should have been allowed to take these steroids that Messi was taking, because he is a wee lad. He is all wee short body, isn't he? Wee guy. Is he that small?
No, he's not in proportion with himself. He looks like that guy out of like Me, Myself and Irene.
He's a dwarf.
Right. Is that the revelation of this show? Yeah. I think he's about 5'5", something like that. Maybe a little bit shorter.
Taller than you, Brad.
Well, but I'm not in proportion. Paddy.
Yes.
See, when you were over in Belfast, were you around? Were you around like Cal Frampton or that when like Joe Gallagher? Were you at the weigh-in and things like that? Were you up there, or were you just mingling with the crowd?
I was mingling with the crowd.
Were you drinking?
Yep.
Does the woman know this?
Nope.
Oh.
We've got an exclusive.
How did you think that all went on? I just basically think that like Joe Gallagher was just being a pure arsehole, and it was just kind of trying to aggravate situations. Like at no point did Shane actually fucking say anything bad about it. I don't think I've ever watched an interview where Shane's actually said anything bad about him, and he just kept constantly going at him. And even at the weigh-in, he pushed him and tried to start a fight. That we all know that Shane would bat.
Yeah, I've seen that there. I've seen it at the weigh-in. I don't know why he done that, like, but just all a part of the show. But
I mean, I'm all for fucking showman. Or I like the way Eubank was like fighting Blackwell. Then he was kind of doing a bit of the moonwalk, like pointing over Billy Joe Saunders. And I was a big Nas fan, and obviously I'm a Mayweather fan. I like all that, but Joe Gallagher's done absolutely nothing to justify the attitude that he's got. He turned around and says that his gym is basically the UK Kronk gym. I mean, they're just all fucking zombies in that gym. They're all big daft bastards.
The boys in Belfast, you mean?
I'm talking about Joe Gallagher, the prick.
He's a fucking.
Oh no, I'm not talking. I know that Belfast has got a Kronk gym there, and I was like, no. Like, he actually thinks that thinks that his gym, Amir Khan's gym, is like the Manny Stewart gym of UK. That's what he thinks.
But sure, he ain't got a fucking gym. It's Amir Khan's gym.
Exactly. Yeah.
The fuck needs it.
So was Manchester good, aye?
But actually it was good, aye. To be honest, I wasn't drinking in Manchester, but it was fucking still brilliant.
It did look good. I thought you would have been basically around all that, so I was going to kind of try to pick your brain at that. You know how like you were saying that you've been talking to Frank Warren?
Yeah.
I thought that, I know somebody's asked this question, but I was going to ask it anyway. I don't really want to go this way because they're all mental, but I thought like MGM would have been your choice of destination.
Yeah, MGM will be my manager.
They're going to be your manager, so
Yeah.
They work with Warren, don't they? They promote shows for them. They're on Box Station, aren't they?
But, like, I say they could be. I'm not saying they are going to be.
nah, a wee fucking slip there, Paddy, a wee slip.
Ah.
You're not
Where-
going to be trained by Seamus Macklin, are you? For fuck's sake.
Well, that was silent. But Paddy, Paddy, where would you actually be based then? Like, see if you turn pro, where would you actually be based? Like, would you basically be like maybe just going over to England and fighting in cards there?
No, I'm probably training in England, but I don't know who with.
So you would your fights be based in England then, aye?
Probably.
I will. Should come up here.
But it wouldn't really matter where I'm based because I'm already a worldwide superstar, Nick, so.
No, I should because I know that there's not really many cards in Belfast, is there? Would
I
you know?
exactly, but maybe I could bring boxing back to Belfast, Nick, so.
Like it's like you and Michael Conley could easily fill with. I mean, you're big enough to. I like see where the weigh-in was for what Frampton Kiko. Was that what hall was that? Was it the King's Hall?
From Keiko was in the Titanic.
No, I know, but see the weigh-in.
Before that one?
You know where they get the weigh-in? Was it?
Ulster Hall?
Aye, I thought that's quite. Is that not held boxing before as well?
Yeah, but I thought like.
So would you consider fighting in Belfast then, huh?
Definitely, yeah.
With MGM?
MGM, aye. If they're allowed.
Oh, that's right. Well,
Maybe let's not get into that live on air. Might be a bit of a minefield. Paddy, I've got a few of the upcoming fights, and if you want to really quickly just give us your if you just want to pick a winner, we've got Theophane against Broner on Friday.
Yeah. Broner and Theophane?
Yeah, who have you got in that fight?
Broner destroys him.
Yeah, I think Broner early knockout. Yeah, if he's
Yeah, definitely.
apparently the fight is on. They've the police have confirmed today that they'll let him fight.
Yeah.
Right, we've got and then we've got Callum Smith against Mohammadi on the Saturday. I think.
Callum Smith destroys him too.
Yep, agree with that. What about Cardle and Dodd in the rematch?
Who?
Scott Cardle
yes.
and British title.
I think Brian's mate Cardle will win this time again.
Yeah, we think it might be a knockout for Cardle this time, a cleaner knockout.
No, it won't be a knockout. It'll be a points win, I think.
Okay.
yeah, I actually quite like Cardle. I always have liked him.
You don't like Cardle.
No, I do actually like him. I don't.
Brian, you fucking don't.
No, I do. I just no. Seriously, I did actually like Cardle. It was a joke that kind of fucking got out of hand a while ago, but I actually, like, everybody in Joe Gallagher's gym, he was the only one that I was like, he's a bit of a boxer. I like boxers. I'm not one of these guys that likes all these fucking crude fighters that just wants to wade in about each other. And he was actually the only kind of technical boxer that Joe Gallagher had at this point, and I quite liked him. But see the fact he was getting pushed and they called him the surgeon and all that. You know me, I've got a stupid sort of sense of humour, and I had to attack that, didn't I? But now, for some reason, he's kind of changed his style and he's just getting into wars all the time. So he's just went to the sort of fucking fighter that I don't like. But no, I don't have a problem with Ricardo. I know he hates me and says he'd love to batter my cunt in, but he needs to get in a queue because there's a long line.
Is he from Glasgow, Ricardo?
No, he's not for Glasgow. Where's that golf course near Blackwell? Is it St Anne's or something like that?
I don't know.
Nah, that is. It's like a wee fucking townside that he comes from, like near Blackpool, I think. Fuck, I don't know. Major golf events and that are hanging out there. No, he's not for Scotland. I think he's
on a golf course.
I think his dad's for like Glasgow. And that's how he's got the accent and everything. It's fucking funny. He sounds a bit like Ray Houghton, where he's a Scottish guy that's fucking stayed in England for years and he's got a mad weird twang. But there's a guy saying his dad's for Glasgow. Lytham, that's it. Aye, good. Cheers, modern broadcast. Get up, you. Is Cardo Scottish, Irish, or English? He's fucking English.
British. until he loses, and then he's Scottish.
No.
It's the rule in all sports. Paddy, moving on. Next weekend we've got Pacquiao Bradley, the trilogy, possibly Pacquiao's last fight. Who have you got in that one?
I think Pacquiao wins again on points.
I agree with you, but I've seen a lot of people picking Bradley this time. Strangely, I'm not sure why. And then we've got Abraham against Ramirez on the undercard. That's a 168 title.
Who?
Arthur Abraham against Ramirez, that Mexican sort of prospect.
Oh yeah.
I think Callum Smith will be targeting the winner of that one, I reckon, for later this year potentially. And then also same night, Martin against Joshua at the O2. Who have you got in that one?
Martin.
Oh really? First round knockout.
Yep.
Man, see if that actually happened. Man, honestly,
if he gets knocked early, they'll do a rematch, won't they? I reckon.
Oh, seriously, if Joshua get knocked out, man, my mum would find me the next day hanging for a tree because there'd be no coming back for it. It'd just be fucking the greatest night ever, and I couldn't beat that. Fucking Eddie Herman would be able to deal with it. I thought it'd be amazing. And somebody said
and
here,
I'm picking Martin because of the fucking Dylan White fight.
Well, because he got caught a few times.
He was terrible against Dylan White.
I was blowing out his ass quite quick. I think if Dylan White wasn't hurt so early, he could have maybe get him out of there. That time, see when he hurt Joshua was in a bad way. But see the fact that White was hurt himself, he just couldn't land a proper punch after that. He was just kind of thrown everywhere, and he was just off balance as well. But I don't think Joshua's chin's all that's cracked up to be. But for what I've seen him, Martin, it doesn't look great either. I mean, I did watch some of his highlights of the weekend, and the way he throws punches, he just throws them so wide. He's not like, you know how Joshua's dead compact, where he'll just be, he's like a robot, but his punches are so straight. Like this man just kind of fucking throws them all over the shop, and I can see him getting stopped in a couple of rounds, but it'd be good.
But to be honest here, I want to see Joshua winning because I like him.
Nah. Paddy, we've really not got on tonight with some of the people you like.
But like I talked to him like outside of boxing, like, you know what I mean? So he's a nice guy.
See, did you have much to do with him at 2012, Paddy? Did you get to know him at all then? Or I know you weren't on the same team, but
in 2011, I remember talking to him and saying to him that he's the next Ollie Harrison.
Did they try and sell you drugs?
I think they're doing too well.
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Yeah. We think he might be the next Frank Bruno, or he could turn out to be the real deal, I suppose. Got to give him the benefit of the doubt. And then on the undercard, we haven't got much, have we? Hunter against Selby. It's not a particularly important fight.
Have any of you seen that Hunter fight? Because I listen to a couple of American podcasts, and I know they can be quite biased and that, but they say that this could actually be potentially be a decent fight. Hunter is alright.
Problem is, they all think Selby's shite because they've only seen him twice, and they saw him against Montiel and he wasn't that good. They genuinely think Selby is this European complete hype job, really lucky to have a belt, whereas we know that he's actually put in some really good performances. Cool.
I liked that Montiel fight. It was close right enough. I liked it. I know Montiel looked as if he was on everything. Like, he was on everything, man. He was massive.
Have you ever seen a guy more obviously on something than Montiel in that fight? It's ridiculous. He was like jumping up 6 foot in the air to land like uppercuts, and he was throwing 150 punches around for the entire 12 rounds. He's like 35 or something. It's ridiculous. He's half Selby's size. But yeah.
It's not even that. He was coming on strong at the end.
Yeah, ridiculous. Absolutely. I don't think there was any testing for that at all. And we've got actually, Paddy, one last one. On that undercard, we've got Brian Rose against Matthew Macklin, which actually at this stage might be a 50-50, to be honest. Who have you got in that one?
Matthew Macklin.
You've got to pick the MGM boss, haven't you?
Of course.
Paddy, what is it you're going over to? I know the World Series of Boxing is this week. When is it? Is it tomorrow or is it the weekend? It's on Box Nation. What is it you're over in Italy for? Is that the World Series of Boxing?
No. I'm not doing the World Series of Boxing this year because I was going to do it with Poland, but then I just decided not to.
Well, you don't need. You've qualified for the Olympics anyway. Is that?
That's me. I qualified for the Olympics, and I'm just in training camps, and I'm fighting in May over in Lithuania. So I'm just gonna train and fight. I don't need to do WSB.
When is your first fight in the Olympics? What date is that?
Maybe the 6th or the 7th.
Is it that June or July?
Sorry?
Is that June or July? Is that July?
Oh, August.
August?
Oh, I didn't be starting in August.
That's fucking late. Is that because of the Euros?
So what?
Is that because of the Euros in France? It's so late?
No,
I think the Olympics is probably in August, isn't it? I think.
Is that? I always thought it was in July.
No, fuck, it's always in August.
Fuck that. That's fucking quite a while away. How?
Whereabouts are you going to be based in Brazil, Paddy? Do you know what city you'll be in or anything?
I don't know yet. I really don't know yet.
Hopefully you won't have to do too much travelling. Obviously it's a big fucking country, isn't it?
I take it you're not taking the family over with you? They'll not be coming over to Brazil, will you?
No, fuck, I bring it. I don't want to have that Zika virus.
True.
True. Know what I mean?
And you basically want to be able to get down to Copacabana Beach yourself anyway.
Of course, don't by myself, know what I mean?
That should be a good experience. So fucking Brazil.
Well, yeah, I mean, best of luck with it. I think unless anyone else has got any other questions, we've given us 2 hours very kindly. But if anyone else has got any other, I think Sam's dropped off, hasn't he? Yeah. But thank you very much, Paddy, for the time, and yeah, best of luck with everything in the build-up. And we hopefully look forward to hearing some news of you signing up and fighting for a British title on your debut soon.
No problem, boy. Thanks very much.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Paddy.
See you, boys. See you, guys. Here, man.
Cheers.
Fuck Joe Gallagher.
Right, Alex. Alex.
We done.
Don't sound so excited about it.
Fucking.
Were you asleep?
No, I'm just busy.
What? How hard is it to like pop open a tablet and take it? Oh, it's fucking so strenuous, man. How did that go? That kind of sounded a bit hard.
No, it was all right. I mean, we're still live, by the way. But you know, it was Brian. You were the fucking expert, and then you fucked off the first 20 minutes. It was just me and Sam. We hadn't prepared our questions really, but.
Right, I'm gonna take that offline then. Fucking hell.